ethical Republicans.
We had ethical, all kinds of ethics. But for me, when I see that the Department of Justice is no longer, doesn't feel neutral, they're not looking to see if it's true. They're just saying, well, you know, it's done. That makes me uncomfortable.
You mean like
it should make every American uncomfortable.
Well,
I
can just start with me.
Yeah,
made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, I'm so disgusted because, you know, if Grant Paul were doing this to a witness and saying this about a witness that I had on one of my cases, I would send an FBI agent to his house and I would have him brought in. Because that's witness intimidation, punishable by up to 20 years in prison.
The law.
I would have him brought in.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yes, this person is a whistleblower. He's intimidating that witness and he's encouraging people to break the law. How dare he? He's a sitting senator.
He's covered.
He knows
Wait
better.
a second. He's covered by the president, who also does witness tampering and breaks the law and gets away with it.
Be careful.
And William Barr, the Attorney General.
Yeah, Whoopi's right. It's coming from the Department of Justice.
There's no law in the country anymore.
Disgusting.
No, that's not so.
Well, not at that level.
There is still law. Listen, we have not...
Read the transcript.
If I don't go for jury, if any of us, except for me,
I'll never get old.
At this
I'm going to
point,
beat that horse till it dies for the rest of the election cycle.
At this point,
Read
at
the
my age,
transcript.
I'm too old to do jury duty. Yes, those people out there, you don't have to do it after a certain age.
Really?
Look it up. But if any of you ladies said, I don't want to do jury duty, they would come and haul your butt into jail somewhere. And these people get away with murder. And yet they're not hauling anybody in. It's outrageous.
Well, you know what? My hat's off to Yovanovitch, and that's what we started the segment on. She was the ambassador to Ukraine, right? She testified yesterday, and she said she felt, quote, threatened.
Yes.
Because you remember, if you actually read the transcript, you would see that the president said to the Ukrainian president that she's bad news and that she's going to go through some things.
Yeah.
Imagine being in her seat.
And what did Sondland say?
And reading that when you're already home. And then Sondland, apparently, because they were threatening her and they were saying that, like, you're not doing your job and talking bad about her. And Sondland, who was the head of the EU, who was working with Trump, said, if you really want to save your job, essentially, then make the president look good. Tweet something nice about the president. So hats off to her because she's there to testify. She's testified, and other people have.
What, like I like your hair? What are you going to say?
I know. It's so
hot.
But there are ambassadors that like a lot of. I mean, there's one in particular.
Sorry, she didn't testify yesterday. Her transcript of her testimony.
It was released.
Whoopi and I were talking the commercial break. When you threaten people and when you degrade people's character, what the president continues to do, you are afraid of something. You know that you've done something wrong. That's all you need to know. He's insecure about it.
I will say, even though, like, I haven't been, like, threatened by the president, but I've certainly been at, this is serious, Joy, I've certainly been at, like, the edge. Like, when I worked at Fox, he asked for me to get fired. He tweeted for me to get fired that I was so terrible.
Who did?
Like, the president. Like, he's many times, obviously, when President Trump says something about you and zeroes you out, it is very scary.
Yeah,
and I know from experience, it is very intense. His supporters come out just like leaves of zombie apocalyptic people coming to get you. And it's very, very
But they're not all of America. They're
an ambassador in this situation.
Yes. Thug behavior.
It's very scary.
It is the behavior that, you know, that is not okay. There are laws against it.
Of course.
And as long as we can sit and continue to talk and say the stuff that we say and be the people that we are, regardless of where we're coming from, there is still law.
And the White House can't actually get commentators fired.
That's right. When we disappear, start running.
Well, that'll be kidnapping.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.